Hey guys, welcome back. So this is second part of the previous video, and what I'm gonna share with you is I want to clarify one thing, right? So remember when we did this, when we evaluated the square root of 72, right? Square root of 72, we had 36, square root of 36 times the square root of 2, which is equal to 6 square root of 2. Why? Because the rule that we are using is to simplify any set, right? Divide that number into two parts, one being the highest perfect square, right? One being the highest perfect square. The highest perfect square for this one was 36, and 36 times by 2, we know that we get times by square root of 2, and we end up with 6 square root of 2. That's great. That's correct. The answer is correct. However, this is mathematics, right? In mathematics, there will be questions where, or there will be time where you have a question and everyone will use his own method, but you end up with the same answer, right? So that's okay. And this first example is the most advanced, and really it's straightforward. However, it can happen where you just don't know that 72 is the same as 36 times by 2, right? In that case, what do? Well, you could break that 72, you could break 72 into different parts, right? So the first part will be square root of 4 times the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, right? So, and that you end up with 2 square root of 2 squared, or 2 square root of 2 squared times by square root of 3 squared times by square root of 2. And then when you do that, you evaluate that, you end up with 2 times 3 times the square root of 2. And the answer is 6 square root of 2. Right? So you can see that the answers are the same. The only difference is because when you don't know that 36 goes into 72 once and you end up with 2, so when you times by 2 you get 72. When you don't know that, what you usually do, you'll be like, okay, so this is the way you would think through this second method. So you'll be like, okay, 72, right? So the rule says find the highest perfect square. And maybe you just don't know that you can go further and you go 1, 1 doesn't change anything. 2, or you'll be like, oh yeah, 2 squared is 4, right? So 72 times by 4, you'll be like, oh yeah, so 72 times by 72 divided by 4 is 18, right? Yeah, it's 18. And so that will be 4 times by 18. But you also know that 18 is the same as the square root of 9 times by square root of 2. So that makes sense, right? And then you can evaluate this, have 2 squared and the square root times 3 squared and the square root times by square root of 2. And then you end up with 2 times 3 times 2 square root of 2, and then you end up with 6 square root of 2. I hope that makes sense. And so yeah, this is the point that I just wanted to clarify. So it's not always that you'll be able to see this straightforward. If you don't, then break it down into more steps, right? So it's all about time and how comfortable you are with this type of questions. Now let's do one question, another simplification, right? Another simplification. So remember in my previous video I showed you different notation of multiplication, right? So when you see 6 square root of 20, this is basically saying 6 times this number, right? So how do you evaluate this? The question is to simplify. So how do we simplify this? Well, this number here, the number in front, 6, there's not much we can do with 6. This is what we are aiming to have all this to be as an integer or natural number. So with that in mind, now we need to focus on this 20. How do we simplify this? Right, let's apply the same rule that we're using there. So to simplify any set, find the two numbers that divide that number and the set, and one of them has to be the highest perfect square. So what is the highest perfect square in this number? 2 squared? Oh yeah, 4, because we know that 20 is the same as 20 could be written as, so we have 6 times 20 is the same as the square root of 4 times the square root of 5, right? Oh yeah, now it's easy, right? So you have 6 times the square root of 2 squared times by square root of 5, right? So then here you have 6 times square root of 2 squared is just 2 times square root of 5. And then the next answer is just 12 square root of 5, right? Right, yeah, this is correct. I hope this stuff makes sense. I hope now you can simplify any given set. And also in my next video, we'll be doing some operations under set. How do you add two set? How do you multiply two set? How do you divide two set? And when you multiply two set, do you get a set, or you get an integer, or you get a natural number? So all those are the stuff that we'll be looking at in the next video. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so that you don't miss out for the next videos. Thank you.